Alrighty, my Trails fans, welcome back to the next episode of Trails in the Sky. Alrighty, so last episode we went and spoke to all of the lovely people of Rolent, and now we're about to go into the Bracer Guild so we can take on our very first assignment. So in we go. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Aina. Good morning. Is Shara here today? Is Shara here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks! We'll do our best. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Sherazad's waiting for you upstairs. Good luck to the both of you. The Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Magician, and last of all, Inversion through the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, this is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does. Wow, Joshua, Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything, her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an ornament with some practice, eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. Alright, I believe I just need to read like one of these. And it should let me continue, but let's see if there's any story stuff on here. Orbments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz or process septum installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technology reform is commonly known as the Orbal Revolution. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. The Kingdom of Lebel, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zemmorin continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Lebel is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent and is known for its high level of technology used to develop augments. Augment technology has also been a key pillar of support for Lebel in protecting its independence as it has contended with neighbouring nations. 10 years ago, when Lebel was invaded by the Arobian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Lebel enjoys peace. Let's see, since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara? How is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you will be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you'll be performing. But before that, there is something that we need to give the both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two, go get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find and wear. These kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crud, this sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see that there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. Alrighty, so this is just for the trainer. By the time I actually remembered to be checking this bulletin board when I was playing the first time through, I managed to miss like 3 side quests. Because they're kind of time limited to where you are in the story. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'd just have to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha! Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behaviour. Okay? Here is where you will learn how to use an Orbital factory services. At an Orbital factory, you can modify your orbment and synthesize support quartz in order to use Orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the Guild has had a long-standing relationship with these Orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem, leave everything to me. So what is it that you would like to know about? Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an Orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of sepith too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Simply put, Orbital arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the Orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since Orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, the corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an Orbital factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I have described. I think this information should suffice for now. Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbment and decide where you'll be installing it ahead of time. Sepith are fragments of septium which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into 7 types: earth, water, fire, wind, time, space, and mirage. Sepith can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but at the Orbital factory it can be used to synthesize quartz and to open orbment slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. So, anybody who didn't want to read through that, I wouldn't blame you for skipping through all of that in the video. It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some sepith. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop, you would be able to exchange sepith for mirror, but for this training you will not be able to use the service. Alrighty, so trade. I need quartz. So I need a time one. Let's go for HP. It's pretty useful. You know, I think I could pretty much make one of each, right? And we'll do attack as well. And evade. Okay. Perfect. Did she want me to slot them? Alright, looks like you were able to synthesize one. Next I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now install a quartz into your orbment so that you can use both recovery and attack arts. Gotta remember how to... Right, there we go. Augment. So he gets the time one. Yeah, I think tier is healing, I think. So definitely want to go with that. Alright, looks like you've got both recovery and attack arts set up. If you bounce your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your bracer notebook and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your orbments. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening up slots, it would be a good idea to open them all early on. Now I want you to use the Sepith and open a slot in each of your orbments. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. Just for the record, if you ever see like a cut in the video, it's probably when I'm going to be going into my inventory to sort things out. And that way you don't have to see me trying to figure out all my options and stuff and get bored for about 5 minutes. Right. Right, Estelle's got the most flexibility at the moment. Is there a difference between these two things? Which one do I want to open? This one goes up to 3. I don't really think it matters all that much. Well, she only gave me enough Sepith to unlock one anyway. She worded it like they could both equip something. Oh. There we go. Let's go ahead and give her the defense. I see you've managed to open one of your orbment slots, Estelle. Since your central slot is not limited to a particular element, you are free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Ahaha. Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Oh well. No sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for. How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Joshua, help me! Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua! All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and I even made you jot down what you read in your bracer notebooks, unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief. O divine Adios, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test? No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital factory. I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you try to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do, and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident then, how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Rowland sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real living, breathing monsters down there, so if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. Oh, nice. And a monster guide. What's this book for? It's called a monster guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Alrighty. So this game on the PC actually has like a turbo mode, which basically speeds up everything in the gameplay. There appears to be a recovery point set up over there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging in any further battles. Sounds like a plan to me. And I would highly suggest try to use the turbo mode as little as possible whenever you're playing through the game. Especially like if you're in any like boss battles or anything, because there are a lot of things that are bugged with the turbo mode. I believe it's Joshua's S-Craft ability doesn't do any damage if you turbo mode through it. And from what I remember, the first time, well, actually I think it was the second time I played through the tutorial missions, because I had to basically restart the game so I could do the side missions that I'd missed. Do not turbo through any of the tutorial missions because it will completely break the scripting because the scripted fights. Monster at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it. Yeah. And don't let monsters run into the back of you either. It's not a good thing to do. Okay. You basically can't really do anything on this one except exactly how it tells you to play. So I would probably usually try and turbo through a lot of these easy battles, but again, in the tutorial, you're just going to break the game if you try and do that.
That's that then. Let's move out.
But if I'm just traveling to places, I'm probably going to keep the battles in, just so you can kind of see that process. But if I'm doing any kind of like grinding for XP or money or anything, then I'll cut those parts out. Here comes some more. Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks. Okay. Okay, so here we go. I just found the descriptions of these were not super clear. Like Joshua's, I think, has a 20% chance of just instantly killing the enemy, but I'm not 100% sure that that's the ability. It just seems to be what it is. Okay, don't think it really matters. Yeah, they don't have a weakness. And you get ingredients from defeating enemies as well. Estelle, let's try using crafts this time round. Since crafts have other effects besides just dealing out damage, they're worth a shot. Roger that. Dual strike thing. I think that ability is fine to turbo throw. It's specifically the S craft, which is something you can do when your CP is at max.
Come on.
Wait, that was weird. Oh. That was really weird. I didn't actually mean to cast morale there. I'm not entirely sure why I just started continuously trying to interact. Oh well. Hopefully that doesn't cause an issue with trying to talk to people. Oh, chest here. Reviving bomb. The chest is empty because of you. Nice work, hero. Oh, another tip for you as well. If you're trying to go for like achievements on Steam, I think there's one for reading all of the chest messages. A lot of chests like that you'll need to interact with more than once to get the message. Door is rusted and appears to be locked. Oh, what a surprise, another creepy thing. Oh, I suppose luckily, because I am recording, if for whatever reason it does skip through the dialogue, I could just slow that down for you guys in the editing process. I wish there were an easy way to take care of them. One blow using an S-Craft or S-Break should do the trick for just about any enemy. The catch is our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves. so I don't have any craft. Oh yeah, 'cause this is practice for the S craft. Press the brake button. Okay, yeah, that's how we do that. Kinda don't just want to waste it on this rat. Yeah, so this is the S-Craft. If you turbo through this, you're not going to do any damage. Kind of a waste of a perfectly good S-Craft. What can you do? It's the tutorial. What? What you talking about? There we go.
Piece of cake.
Okay, I think the next one is the boss battle, so I'm gonna hurry back and do some healing. And you know what, for future reference, I'm probably gonna do my best to cut that out as well with me running back and healing. Just so you guys can stay in the action, so if you see any cuts with my health miraculously coming back, you know what I did. So that's the treasure chest we're after, huh? If we've made it this far, the rest is going to be a piece of cake. Seems like we've got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. Oh yeah, so you can use the S-brakes to steal certain things that happen in the middle of the battle. These icons indicate the bonuses allotted to the battle order. If a bonus icon appears next to a character's icon, they will receive that bonus. Heal health, set up, indicate effects. Okay. Let's see, so let's just go ahead. Oh. Try and kill these dirty rats first. And again, I'm not really going to turbo through the common attacks just in case. I really don't want to risk it. Not in the tutorial anyway. Okay, so art, let's go for the soul blur. Trying to hit these things with physical attacks is just going to end up being a nuisance. Go ahead and start moving over there. And then start making my way over, and Joshua will have him defeated before I even get there. But that's okay.
Alright, we're good to go.
That's weird. There's a couple of boxes inside the treasure chest. The fact that there's not just one but two is kind of interesting too. Wonder what's inside. Remember, Estelle, our mission is to search and retrieve only. I'm pretty sure looking inside those boxes doesn't fall under our mission objective. You're no fun at all, Joshua. This has nothing to do with our mission. It's what I like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. We can get away with a teensy-weensy peek, right? If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means, be my guest. Did you just say the F word? Yep, opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic fail for the both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. And as long as they were nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them. I know you're right, Joshua, but I just can't help myself. If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Scherer when we get back? But for now, we need to focus on getting out of here. Alright. By looking inside this chest again, you flunk. Just kidding. And there we go, that should pretty much be the tutorial over. Looks like these videos are going to be a little longer than my last series. Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. Yep, they're the real deal, alright. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. That was a close one. I figured she would try and set us up like that. Congratulations to the both of you. You have successfully passed your qualification test. You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? So, Scherer, what's in those boxes you had us get? That's for me to know and you to find out, after your training is finished. That's enough chit-chat for now, so let's get back to work. You two still have some things left to do. Seriously? But didn't you just say that we passed the test? You still have to learn about how to report the results of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but this is no time to shirk your duties. Let's get back to the guild. When is this day going to be over? Oh well, no sense in giving up when the finish line is in sight. Agreed. It seems like we're within reaching distance of our goal. Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting how you resolved the situation and the steps you took to get there are all parts of your job as a bracer. You can report your results to the front desk in each guild branch, and as you already know by now, Aina is in charge here at the Roland branch. In addition, this is where you'll be paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. Now that we're here, why don't you both go ahead and report the results of today's training? Some money and BP. Good job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objective without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note of is that depending on how you handle a job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. When you report the results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you will receive. You will also accumulate points which are known as bracer points. BP are an indication of your achievements as a bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you will advance in rank as a bracer and be awarded with a piece of special equipment by the guild. The ranks of a junior bracer start at 9 and go all the way up to 1. Please set your sights on making first rank and work hard. The amount of Mira and BP you receive will also be recorded in your bracer notebook, so please have a look sometime later on. All that's left to do now is finalise your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Aina, and sorry about putting more work on your plate today than usual. Don't worry about it, training new bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these two to the bone in any case. To the bone? And knowing Scherer, it'll involve the whip. Let me say it again, good work you two. You have now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you'll be learning from your own real-world experience. Well then. Scheherazade holds out 2 small boxes. Aren't those boxes the ones... In answer to your question, yes, these are the boxes you retrieved during today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying that it's okay if we open them? That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet. Alright, let's have a look. Estelle and Joshua open the boxes. This crest is... So does this mean that we're... Estelle Bright, Joshua Bright. Beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed as junior bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome into the fold. Did you hear that, Joshua? We've become members of the Bracer Guild. So I'm a bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only now just beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua. You should be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world! We did it! I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed. I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed up work that needs my immediate attention. We understand. You've been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shara, I just wanted to say thanks. Likewise, I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Shara. Don't mention it. Training new recruits is one of a bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father Cassius trained me. So that's why you have so much respect for my dad, huh? There's actually more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become full-fledged bracers early on, so you can help guide those new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. I just don't get it. Get what? This is Scheherazade, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young bracers we're talking about. So why is it that she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who is always out doing who knows what instead of being a father. A no-good middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion. Huh? Never mind. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers. Right. Alrighty, well, that took a while to get through our final exam, but I think I'm going to call the episode there for tonight, folks. Thanks for joining me, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification icon, and I will see you all on the next one. Goodbye for now.